name is Ann, and today I'll be talking about my Magnamalo Greatsword speedrun. If you want to see an unedited version, it's already on my YouTube channel. I'm going to pause periodically to talk about strategies and a few different things here and there. I'm sorry it's been a while. I had to get my 5G vaccine. I had to do some things around the house. Life's been busy, but hey, we're back playing Monster Hunter, having a good time, so let's get into it. I need the monster to spawn in Area 9 for the speedrun to be viable. It's just too slow to get to the other areas and buff up. You could take a Mega Demon Drug, but it's just way too slow at this rate. Like, look, we're already here. We don't have time to take that Mega Demon Drug, so we're just going to go hit the monster. I have two openers that I like to do here. This first opener is just hit, tackle TCS3. I can also ACS into TCS3. The ACS into TCS3 sets it up nicer and guarantees it comes off super duper clean, so that I always get what I want. But the way the monster's positioned, I'm not really happy with it, and there's a lot of RNG in the first few seconds of Magnamalo, especially with the Bullfang as a monster maneuver. So for the sake of runs, I'm going to sacrifice like 150, 200 damage here in order to make this happen. So I tackled early and went into this, and I still tanked through the roar because I have earplugs too. They're great. Once you are in these Nargacuga builds and you start putting in points and attack boost past level 4 or 5, you're going to start seeing diminished returns that will only shorten hunts by like 1 or 2 hits. Well, if you gain hits by having earplugs, which you gain 3 hits in this fight by having earplugs on an average run, then that's going to outpace that easily. And then if you can think about Punish Draw, for example, terrible skill, but in some matchups, that Punish Draw can get you a KO you would not otherwise have, which gives you more hits. Quick Sheath can get you around quicker, reposition quicker, which can lead to a couple extra hits, and that will make up for your attack boost damage. So consider running utility on these Nargacuga builds in matchup-specific ways. You might really surprise yourself. Bonk! So he gets head flinched here. I don't want this head flinch. I want to manipulate this head flinch differently, but if you hit him too late out of the roar, it happens. It's not the end of the world, and we're just going to accept what we get. So we're going to roll forward, tackle, roll back, and then go into ACS. This is a canned setup. He always does this little mystic purple shit afterwards, but I messed up the setup a little bit. But, okay, so we get 179. So I botched the setup. However, because I got that, I only really lost like 1 to 200 damage. So I would have had to overcharge or time that like spectacularly. So it's not the end of the world. And we end up in position for a punish anyways. After Tail Laser, he always turns and then does a little taunt animation. And right here, I'm not aiming for his head because I'm not confident it's going to turn me the right way. And this is just a big mistake. I accept that I could hit his feet, and hitting his feet compared to his head is really not too bad, and I actually want to save hits on his head anyways for a head flinch that's coming up. So it's not the worst thing ever for it to turn out this way. But because I hit white numbers instead of hitting the arm, it is bad. This is a major mistake. I lose like 500 damage here, 4 to 500 damage. That really sucks, but you know, that's how life is. Sometimes you make mistakes, but we're keeping damage on him, and if you watch other runs, shit like this just happens. So, you know, we live. I know he's going to roar here. It takes like somewhere in the ballpark of 1,300 to 1,500 damage. I don't actually know the number. You could probably go find the number. I just know it off feel that he's going to roar. So I roll, tackle. I see the roars coming. I prefer to TCS this every time. This is what I was talking about with the earplugs. Earplugs can gain me a TCS. Earplugs only gain me an SCS here, but it's still fine. Totally acceptable. And now we actually end up hitting his head. We end up getting a flinch to a knockdown. So right here, I roll, tackle, and then I'm going to ACS his head. I roll and tackle, even though it's slower, to make sure I get past his arms. If I get hung up on his arms, I lose a lot of damage, and the only thing I give up in return is an ACS charge. That's totally fine. We're fine with that. That's life. As long as that comes off cleanly, that's all that really matters. So you roll back here. I'm going to roll, tackle, and then chase with Power Sheath to ACS. This is this little thing. He was going to wave his tail like a stupid magic wand. It's so goofy. And I'll chase him with ACS in order to punish it. I need the ACS to hit as best as I can. I can't really get a TCS, but ACS hitting is totally fine because this monster has a lot of openings where ACS is really your only good punish. And if you ACS it enough, it becomes mountable, which ends up being quite a big opening later. A big part of this fight is setting up the cadence to be in a way that's beneficial to you, involving your statuses, your KOs, things like riding, because later on in this fight, this monster is bullshit. He's just a bullshit RNG factory you don't want to have to deal with. But he gets flinched here. We still just accept the ACS damage and then move on with our lives. It's fine. Heal up at this point. This attack isn't really going to line me up for a punish, so we take the free heal. It's okay. This attack is a punish. This should be a level 3 draw charge every time, but I'm trash. If you make a mistake in runs, just accept the fact that you made a mistake and keep the run going. These small mistakes matter. Like, I can save time by not making small mistakes like this, but it's fine. It's actually fine. Getting neat in here. This is just, again, the pattern I got. I am going to attempt to hit his back here. Not quite what I want, but it's fine. You get to just get the jump charge here however you want. You can land and go for something else, but I normally end up getting a lot of gains by doing this because he has patterns where he can land, where you can roll, tackle, even wide slash, TCS, and actually get shit. So go figure. That's me rolling the dice. Dice didn't roll in my favor, but you know, we accept this. I'm doing this because I'm expecting to have to power sheath and chase some dumb bullshit anyways. But he jumps back and does this. So you can actually charge through that head bite and get a couple extra points of stun and then tackle through it, because that head bite only flinches you and you have flinch free while charging. Cool. So tackle him, and I see the dog's hitting him. At this point, I'm thinking like, okay, he's eating like 4 or 5 tackles, and the dog's sort of hitting him with blunt weapons in the head. He's pretty stunnable. So now the option I'm looking for is stun, because if I stun him, and then let's say I get a status or I get a ride before the next phase goes off, that's a world record type run. That's what we're looking for here. And he starts looking at me funny like this, which means he's going to dash through me. Every time I see this and I'm already charging, I can't really get a good punish anymore. It's too late for me to try to get a good punish, but I can fully charge level 3 and tackle him anyways. I do this pretty consistently in order to build up KO on this monster. So, because I'm doing that, and I've seen all the KO stacked, I think this is going to bring him down. I'm really confident he's going to go down here. If he doesn't go down here, I'm going to chase him with Power Sheath, and I'm going to do the Unsheath roll and then tackle his head. If that doesn't down him, I'm just going to reset at that point, because I'm all in on this strategy. Bonk! And he goes down super duper hard. If you are in TCS level, whenever you get a KO, you get 2 guaranteed TCSs. This is absolute best case scenario KO. And this is the one thing I'm really proud of myself. I set this up really extremely well. I reacted to the RNG. I was really confident what I was going for, and you get a big reward for it. Enough head RNG kicks in. So remember that thing I said where if I ended up getting this KO into a beneficial situation afterwards, it's fantastic for me? Well, here it is. Dog RNG kicks in. I could TCS his hand here, but I actually want to ACS, because A, the mount is still on the table if the fight continues going a specific way, and B, if I hit his head hard enough and get a bunch of damage in, I can get a guaranteed TCS off of a stagger afterwards, and I'm looking for the stagger. It happens pretty frequently. Hey, there it is. Guaranteed level 2 TCS. So that ends up being, I get like 1,400, 1,500 damage for hitting him while he's asleep, so it ends up actually totaling out just fine. And this continues the situation. He was going to lean back and roar there, but he got flinched. So now I know that he's looking to go into his Big Stupid Enrage or just fuck off. He likes to just run away too. We get Big Stupid Enrage. Fantastic. This is a punish. Unfortunately, God hates me, and I'm bad. This is another one of those moments where it's like, well, shit, maybe this run ends sooner. This run definitely ends sooner if this goes off. But it is what it is. And now dog RNG is kicking in. So the reasons I'm not repositioning and looking for the perfect head TCS is it's just not worth my time in a very general sense. That like taking the time to set up that perfect TCS it's gonna hurt. You're gonna lose some seconds there, and this is good enough. Like the damage differential hitting it right here is fine. I even get a part break which flinches them to set me up to put the trap down. So, you know, take what you get sometimes. Right here, I don't think he's capturable yet. Even if I'd hit him with the previous CCS, I would have done this for safety, because I don't have cats or anything to tell me what's going on. And I'm not quite at the point in this run to count numbers. And luckily we get this knockdown again. Shoutouts to dog RNG. So I'm going to talk about dog RNG real quick, because everybody's probably sitting there going, talk about the sleeps and shit. So I'm running 2 dogs with umbrellas, with red scroll. You should probably be running a different scroll, but whatever. And sleep weapons. So in a 2.5 to 3 minute span of runs, which I've been doing pretty consistently at this point, you will see 2 sleeps, and about half of them, actually. It's a lot more common than you think it is. What is uncommon and what is quite silly is the cadence at which these sleeps came. Because this first sleep came a little bit later than I would have expected it. And the second sleep came way too fast. The odds of getting it from that first to second sleep are like actually somewhere around 1 in 100. I had somebody math it out for me a little bit. So that is what it is. So dog RNG definitely cured me and definitely saved this run here at the very end. So there's room for improvement. There's room for me to be better as a player. But that's the nature of the game. What actually happened was the number thresholds worked out in my favor. I paid attention to them. I was very conscious of them. And I took what was handed to me. And that's how we ended up getting a pretty nice run out of it. I think if I were to work to improve this run and just fix those TCS dead spots, the run would improve by roughly 20 seconds. I think you could get to around 230 in a super duper clean run. It's probably doable, but you know, the run is actually a little bit cleaner than I initially thought. So hey, we take that. You know, there's all the skills, the statuses, and everything. I'm pretty tired of Magna, even though this run could very easily be improved, but the RNG can't really be improved too much. It's about as good as it gets on the RNG front. So, you know, we're gonna leave it there for now, and I'll let a better runner take it up and finish the job for me. I believe in y'all out there. So anyways, yeah, that about wraps it up. Don't have much more to say other than really stand dogs. Like, double dog meta is really strong. So have fun playing with that out there, I guess. And hey, maybe I'll see you another time. Thanks for watching.